Goodnight, Goodkind. Here we go with Coach Sam. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
I'm pumped to have you.
As long as there's a basketball around, I'm happy.
Oh, let's go. March Madness talk today. It's gonna be a good time. Let's cut to the theme song. Here we go. Let's get it. Coach Sam, so how this show works is we're just gonna have a little shoot around today, okay?
Okay.
So we can shoot the basketball, we'll talk about, mainly talk about obviously March Madness, but first off, let's talk about you. You went to my alma mater, Boston University, for a year.
For a year. So,
yeah?
Yep.
And then you ended up coaching at New York Tech College.
Right.
In New York City. Can you tell me a little bit about your background, what brought you here to Florida?
Retirement brought me here to Florida, but, coaching, I love coaching. I thought coaching basketball is what I always wanted to do. Ever since I got out of high school, played high school ball, played college.
And then obviously now, we're in 2021.
Yeah.
Things have changed, especially since last year we didn't have a tournament, right?
Right.
So now we're coming into a tournament where this is the first time where we've had an NCAA tournament in one place. Usually we have our regionals, or Midwest, or Western. Now we're all in one place. How is that going to play a factor, you think, this season?
I think it's a great fact because people go to where their team is playing. They travel. Do travel.
Oh, we can shoot around, by the way, Coach. If you want to shoot around the same.
Well, you can shoot around.
I'm going to take a shot.
I'll take one here and there.
Okay, I'm going to dish it to you first.
Oh, geez.
Nice shot, Coach.
But that changes everything. I think if you're playing in front of your home crowd, and you're not playing in front of your home crowd, it's a big difference. It's a big. The adrenaline gets going. Everybody's yelling and screaming, and then it makes a world. It makes a world of difference.
A team like Gonzaga, who is 2-1 odds to win the whole thing, pretty ridiculous. Very rarely do you see a team with 26-0 with 2-1 odds. Do you see maybe kind of a repeat of 2014 with that Wichita State team who they won like 35 games or something? Do you see kind of a similarity there?
Yeah, I could see Gonzaga going all the way without a loss. I mean, they'd have to, they can't have a loss, they'd be done. But I could see that happening. They're very sound fundamentally. Their spacing is terrific. If you really watch them play, their spacing on the court is great. They don't run into each other. They know enough to get around the screen and come back behind the screen instead of keep on going. If you watch that guy, Kispert, the good shooter, does that all the time. But their spacing is terrific, and they play D. They play great D.
What team in the tournament has a shot to actually beat them?
I think a team that could probably play great defense, I think Illinois. They play very good D. Trying to think who else. There's some other good teams out there that play good defense. Alabama, I think, I think nobody's talking about them, but they can get to the Final Four. Michigan, I thought could, but now with the loss of the guard, I think it's makes them a different team.
So without Isaiah Livers, now they still do have 6-1 odds though. To go there.
I watched them. I watched them the other night. I don't think they're the same team without him.
Not the same team.
No, I don't think so. I don't really. I'm not even sure they're going to get to the Final Four. But I think Baylor's got a good shot also. I think they're a good team.
And then how about this Georgetown Colorado matchup? That's one where I think a 12 seed is going to beat a 5. I mean, I don't know what you think there.
I think so also.
Yeah.
I think
after winning the Big East.
I think he's got him playing very well.
Yeah.
And they're also a good defensive team. They play right in your face. They've come on towards the end of the season. And they're playing at a much higher caliber than they have been at the beginning. I think they're playing very well. I think Florida State is going to have trouble getting past Greensboro, University of California, Greensboro. I mean, University of North Carolina, Greensboro.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Turnovers.
And then you mentioned before Bama. This is a team 2 seed, ranked pretty high, but they rely on the 3 ball. And before the interview, we were talking about this briefly. A team that does rely on the 3 ball does usually have trouble in the tournament.
Yeah, well, the other part of that is, like I said, one, you got to get back on defense.
Yep.
Which Baylor wasn't, as an example, Baylor the other night when they lost. The team was just, they were getting beat. The other team that they had lost to the other night just came down, rebound, down, layup. They weren't getting back on D, and that's what you got to worry about with the 3 ball. You can shoot threes, but you got to get back on defense.
Kansas and UVA is two other teams that I look at because they unfortunately got gypped kind of because they had that positive COVID test. Right. So this is different from any other year where they kind of don't have momentum. Right. UVA plays Ohio.
I don't think that'll be a tough game for UP.
You don't?
No, I think, they keep you in the game because of, what they run. The offense that they run, it's very deliberate. They use the clock. They're not coming down, throwing it up, and just shooting the ball and getting back on D. So, they're low-scoring games. So, it's a way to keep somebody like Ohio in the game. Mm-hmm. But they'll wear them down. They play good D also.
And then Kansas plays Eastern Washington, actually.
They'll beat Eastern Washington.
Yeah. So Coach, teams that play a non-conference schedule versus teams that do, right? And this is the only year where this happened, where the Patriot League, so Colgate, the 14 seed, only played a conference schedule. Are they at a disadvantage for that or an advantage?
Absolutely, because I think if you're playing a conference schedule only, you're at a disadvantage.
And they play the 3-seed Razorbacks. Do you see Arkansas going somewhere?
No, I think Arkansas is going to handle them, pretty easy.
Do you see Arkansas going somewhere after the round of 32?
Yeah, I think they could go down to 16. They got enough talent, and they play good D.
You mentioned before that Cleveland State, Houston.
State. Oh, yeah.
You like Houston, but you also like Cleveland State.
I love Cleveland State.
You do?
And Cleveland State is, very quick, in-your-face defense, up and down the court, rebound. They got a couple of big guys this year. Usually they're always a small team. Got a couple of big guys this year that can play also. So, that's a team to watch.
In terms of the 9-8s, Coach, you have the 9-8s, like you have that Loyola Chicago matchup, and then.
I like Loyola in that game.
You do?
Yeah.
You got any upsets like North Texas over Purdue, 13 over a 4? Or do you think Purdue prevails?
I think Purdue will prevail.
I really like to look at these 12-5s, so like UCSB and Creighton. I think a lot of people tend to get fooled in those. The Blue Jays lost by 25.
Yes, they did. I don't think they're playing as well now, at the end of the season as they played at the middle and at the beginning of the season.
So do you think?
I think they'll give them a game. I think they could beat them.
So you think UCSB beats them?
I could see that happening.
Who's your Final Four, Coach?
Final Four. Trying to think. I think Gonzaga. Who else? Gonzaga, Illinois.
Okay.
Maybe Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, Alabama may get there, and Baylor maybe.
Coach, again, we talk about the upsets, and I think that's what everyone wants to know. Where are my upsets going to be on the bracket?
Yeah. Early. I think early. You can get a Georgetown upset, even though, but that may be a little close to Colorado. You may get a Loyola, Cleveland.
Yep. Lastly, your favorite is definitely Gonzaga. Number 2 Gonzaga. Number 1 Gonzaga.
Yeah. The way they're playing, I like them. I like the way they're playing. And they play together so well. They're really a team that knows each other really well, and they know what to do. They don't panic. I mean, they were down. They were down the last game they played. They were down 15, I think, in the second half. Came back and won the game.
Yep.
So.
Gonzaga, there you go. You heard it here on Goodnight, Goodkind. All right, Coach Sam. Thanks for joining us again.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
'Tis the season.
Hey, listen, basketball, love it. Love it. Love being around it. Love talking about it. Love watching it.
And you love Goodnight, Goodkind, don't you?
I love Goodnight, Goodkind.
You do?
Yes.
It's a good show.
It's a very good show.